On our final offering before Christmas, here's what's coming up tonight.
And as Barnsley arrive at Ellen Road for a Yorkshire derby, we catch up with English football's first player in a quarter of a century to come out as former Leeds striker Robbie Rogers returns to launch his anti-discrimination campaign.
Right, on the first anniversary of their takeover, things are looking promising for Leeds United, who started the day in the playoff positions. Ken was at Ellen Road for the visit of Barnsley and caught up with the former Leeds United striker Robbie Rogers, the first player in a generation with experience of the English game to come out.
You won't find any reference to Robbie Rogers in the Leeds United trophy cabinet. He only actually played for the club 4 times. He'll best be remembered for his courage off the field. Quitting Ellen Road and the game in February, he made his sexuality public via Twitter a few weeks later. But such has been the level of support he's received since that he's back in business with LA Galaxy and back at his former club for the first time today to launch Beyond It, his own anti-discrimination campaign. Was there ever any point at which you contemplated coming out while you were still playing in English football?
No.
Not
to be totally honest with you, I was too afraid. I learned obviously after that I probably could have done it, but I was so afraid and I wanted to take some time to myself. I was afraid of dressing room reaction if the guys would treat me the same as they did before. Afraid of the fans, especially away fans, being on the road with the team and what kind of reaction I would get.
Football's coming out finally gay, and I think it's fantastic. A couple of gay fans here in the crowd. We're delighted that you came out.
Awesome, thank you so much. Today is the year that we've been owners, and throughout that year it's been about change, it's been about progression, it's been about moving things forward, bringing people back in, engaging the fans in the community. Robbie's one of our old players. We support our old players, we support our new players. Robbie was very, very brave a year ago, and we want to encourage that.
It's crazy that it's almost 2014 there aren't any other out gay footballers, which obviously shows there's a huge problem. For a person to get to the point where they're going to come out, it's a very personal thing. So, part of me was like, well, I need to take time to myself, and whose business is it anyways? And then the other part of me was like, gosh, such a huge problem. I need to make a statement and do something about it.
I just wonder how long it's going to take.
I don't know how long it's going to take. It's a great question. Again, I said earlier, I thought that some guys might come out in the United States when Jason Collins and I came out. But it will change. I have confidence it will change.
Do you not a little bit want to be pulling your boots on as you sit there watching?
No, definitely. When I sit up and I watch it, and I think for any player, when you watch a game like that, you're always thinking, they should have done this, or look at the space here. I just remember, the amount of fear that I had when I was playing football. So it's just kind of cool to be out of me playing and then to come back to Leeds and to have that kind of support.
Well, listen, much respect. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Well, at the end of that game, a good point for the new Barnsley boss, or the old new Barnsley boss, if you know what I mean, Danny Wilson. Let's talk about why Robbie Rogers was at Ellen Road then, shall we? Always been a bit of a thorny issue about, I suppose, gay footballers, but if a player in rugby can come out, a high-profile player, what's it going to take for a high-profile footballer to do the same?
Well, it's obviously going to take a bit of courage, I should think. To equate one sport with another is difficult because we're talking about different sets of fans here who are going to games. The people who go to rugby are of different backgrounds. They behave differently. It's looked upon differently. They're probably a little bit more forgiving. They're not quite as cynical as football fans. They tend to come from a bit of a harder background, should we say. They're very much black or white.
Which makes it harder there for someone to come out while they're still playing.
Yeah, of course, because it will take longer in football. because you're dealing with different types of people. And that's not to say they're any better or any worse. They're just that little bit harder than maybe rugby or cricket fans in general.
But will it
so
happen?
they're going to take a little bit more winning over.
What do you think? Will it happen?
It'll happen, undoubtedly it'll happen. And as I say, in the end it'll become a normal part and practice of the game. But it's just going to take someone with a bit of courage to come out and do it. And then I think you'll see that it will gather momentum, and it will be an accepted part of football, no doubt.